Hi, Stephanie Stevenson here, otherwise known as Watercolor Artiste on social media circles. Gotta say that slowly, otherwise it's all a big joke. Anyways, I am the artist at midlifeartist.com, and this is my weekly Wednesday night live stream to keep me honest and accountable to myself and to my Artist Corner family as I paint every week. And this is where you can join in and chat with me. Frosty's in the chat. Hi, Frosty. How are you? I've got uh, I've got my screen set up. I finally figured out why my palette cam was always going to be so difficult to get it set up. I figured it out. So it wasn't as much of a challenge this week. So I am definitely doing better than I have in all my previous live streams. I even set up, hey Frosty Princess, I got the Frosties in the house. Hi guys, Happy New Year's. Happy New Year's, everybody. Um, I don't go out on New Year's Eve. I used to, but when you are up in, well, you guys know, the Frosties in Maine, know that going out on New Year's Eve is probably just too cold a prospect. I got disenchanted with going out on New Year's Eve. I could probably go out on New Year's Eve down here in Northwest Georgia and be okay. Most people down here probably aren't, but it would be nice to probably go to Rock City on Lookout Mountain in Chattanooga, where you can see 7 states from up there. Beautiful, beautiful. They have it lit up for Christmas. Um, Nice gardens, caverns, and tunnels in the natural rock formations there. And you can stand on their platform, and they've got a map on the floor of of their outcropping that gives you the full 180 view. And on the floor of the outcropping, they have all the different states that you can see from there. Um, and so I could probably go there, but it's a drive, it costs money, and it's just not my gig. So I stay home like any other night, I guess. It's just another night for me. I don't know, that probably sounds a little depressing to some, but you know, I mean, yeah, 1 year out, new year in. Woohoo! Okay, I'm home. Let's do something fun. Anyway, welcome to my live stream and to the chat. Um, I figured what I would do is start off with my own year in review, art wise. I I managed. I mean, I told you when I first started that I had my screens up, things came together. I actually pulled together a video to upload to my YouTube and Rumble channels later. I'm going to preview it here on the live stream. So people watching the live stream will be able to see it first before I upload it. But I managed to pull together a slideshow formatted year in review video in less than an hour. I've never been able to do that. It's always been a very slow process for me. Um, and so yeah, I'm feeling pretty good, and I'm thinking of the My Name Is Earl episode where their Latino friend, I forget her name all of a sudden, is getting married down in Mexico to Earl's brother, or Earl, as it were, depending upon what part of that episode you're watching. And the the cultural thing was to carry her on a chair and then throw her off so she doesn't get too high on herself. So I don't want to get too high on myself when it comes to having things technically correct and doing well, because that's usually when things go south. So, but anyway, thank you. Yes, Catalina, thank you, Crazy Bear, for you. My husband is in the chat. If you're interested in chatting, I suggest joining in on the Rumble channel. I simulcast on YouTube and Rumble, but Rumble's where the chat is, and that's where all my friends are. And Eventually, I think someone will show up on the YouTube channel. Sometimes that happens, and that's okay. Um, I'm looking forward to the time where I've got too many chatters and I can't keep up. Who knows? Maybe that'll happen. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and bring you into um, the year in review. I'm going to hopefully mute myself so I don't talk or breathe over it because I don't know how it actually works. But I've got it loaded up. Hopefully, it doesn't stutter. So we'll see. In any case, and it's 2 to 3 minutes long. Uh, Crazy Bear's on my YouTube chat too. Hey, honey. All right. Anyway, here we go. My 2025 year in review um, artworks. Most of them, not all of them, most of them, and all the important ones. So, anyway, here goes. Well, there you go. That is my year in review. How was it? I pulled that together in less than an hour, and it doesn't look like it was, you know, thrown together too bad. I don't think so. But anyway, yeah. So I tried to put it in order of when I created it throughout the year. Um, so I was relying on date created of each photo. Um, so it might have been a little bit out of order, but maybe not. But anyway, thank you, Frosty Princess. Thank you. Thank you. It turned out. So I'll be uploading that later to my YouTube and Rumble channels. But you guys got to see it first. So congratulations. Not that that's a big deal. Yeah, it's just a video. But it's my accomplishments for artwork for the year. And, I was a little concerned. I'm like thinking that I wouldn't have enough for a year in review. It just felt like I didn't do enough. But when I started to go through my pictures today, um, I'm like, oh, I actually do have a lot of artwork I did this year. It just felt like I didn't because I know that some of the stuff I did at the beginning of the year, the watercolors I did for my husband's tabletop role playing game, and I don't really consider that part of my body of work right now because it's tied up with his game and how we're going to roll that out. And so I kind of keep that separated in my mind, and then all my other watercolors and canvases and things, that's my body of work right now. So it just is how I keep it separated in my mind. But when I pulled it all together, I'm like, I actually did a lot of artwork this year. So, um, but yeah, it was it wasn't too bad. Hi, Artisan. Welcome to the chat. And how are you? Happy New Year, Artisan. Happy New Year. Um, Welcome aboard. Is that a? Is that? I guess I have a. That's a really bright gray hair strand. I guess I'm showing my age. I've just noticed that. I'm like, that is not color. That is apparently gray. Oh my gosh. Yep. Fun times. Anyway, so yeah, you got to see it first here. And so I'll be uploading that later. I'm also going to do another blog entry on my website and put that out. Um, I am at, prior to Christmas, I had 77 subscribers on my Rumble channel. And Rumble says once you reach 100 subscribers, then you can be part of their content creator program. But then after Christmas, it went down to 76. So I don't know who I lost, but I going in the wrong direction. So if you've got other spheres of influence out there, please share my Rumble channel. I'd like to hit 100 subscribers before July 1st. So that's my half year goal for Rumble. I'd like to hit 100 subscribers before July 1st. I think that's doable if I don't lose any more and I gain a whole bunch. So like I said, I had 77, I'm down to 76, and I need to get to 100 on Rumble. I think I've got 35 on YouTube. And so, yeah, I'm worrying about the Rumble channel because that's where the lively chat is. Hey, JJ, Happy New Year to you. If you just came in, you missed my preview to my year in review video, but I'll upload that to my channels later, like I was saying. Anyway, last week was Christmas, and I saw for Frosty that you guys missed it last week, and it was due to power. I wasn't worried about it. I knew it was Christmas Eve, and I knew you guys, I think, were having a snowstorm up there. So I didn't have any expectations for last Wednesday. I did enjoy doing the live stream because I had my son, Nicholas, joining me last week, and he did the live stream with me. So if you haven't caught that yet, go back and watch it. It was a good time, and he was drawing alongside with me because he's started to draw, and so and he was visiting for the week. That was my gift. My Christmas gift from him was to visit with me for the week, and it was great. I'm just totally blessed. My oldest son, Charles, he was in the process of closing on a home for him and his small family, so he wasn't going to be able to visit. But yeah, so lots happened last week. My son has made it home safely, thank goodness, and wrapping presents in the dark was fun. Oh my goodness. I remember the power outages up there, and I saw the ice storm was happening, I guess, up there on Sunday night, was it, or Monday night, that you guys were having the ice storm. It was Monday because my workplace closed up the facility at noon, and they never close up. So it was a little weird. I mean, I worked the whole day because I work remotely, but yeah. Um, Anyway, I had a wonderful, wonderful week. I hope you all had a great Christmas and that you were able to get together with family. And if not with family, with friends. And if not with friends, then someone online or a community online. But I hate for people to be alone. So, again, I'm not one to go out on New Year's Eve. So, this is where I'm at. Thank you for joining me in the chat. Let's see what else. I've got my little cheat sheet here. I wanted to kind of keep myself organized. I did manage to get, okay, slow down, Steph. Um, some Christmas gifts from my husband. He got me some golden open acrylics that were on my wish list, on my Amazon wish list. Naples yellow hue and carbon black. So I can't use them on this one because I'm in oils on this one, but this is golden open acrylics. They're slow drying acrylic. So they're great for being kind of a in between acrylic and oil in terms of dry time. So I use those when I want to get a painting started. So yeah, I got those. Like I said, I just got I just had a great Christmas. I also got prints done. Here's a print of my rehearsal at dusk. Um, the smaller print size. I offer it in two print sizes on my website. So if you go to my shop, I have two print sizes available. I don't have inventory. This is the only inventory I have right now. Was one to make sure that it came out, and the prints are really nice. I have it behind plastic, but uh, I gave the larger one to my mom-in-law because she liked the painting, and I had it matted and framed. I also got prints for the firemen loaded up to my website as well. And I actually got those prints within 10 business days of ordering them. And that was during the Christmas rush. So not bad. So, yep, I got those. Are on my website, midlifeartist.com, in my shop if you're interested. Share it out if you know someone who likes to dance, is a dancer, fan of dancing, or is a fireman, has a family member that's a fireman, in memoriam of a fireman who fought the battle. Um, anyway, I also I worked on Nancy Wake these past 2 weeks, a little here, a little there, and I got her progressed. And I debating on changing the composition a little. And if I do and am successful, it would be better than what I've got. But I've progressed so far that it's one of those steps that if I do it and I mess it up, I don't think I can get back to this. So I'm not going to work on the areas of the painting that may be changing. I'm going to work on the signage tonight, um, and the parachute pack in front, and try to get that finish. Yeah, crazy bird. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, that's for sure. That's how I feel. It's very scary. I've never changed a painting midstream. And this is actually past midstream. I would say that this is actually 75 to 80% done. And if I change it now, what's going to happen? I don't know. So, and I don't want to mention it because I'm still debating, and I don't want to say why unless I actually do it. So, in any case, you'll find out by next week what I've decided to do. And I debated on starting a new painting instead, but I promised that I would work on this when I posted the live stream links last night, and it was my idea came after I posted those last night. That's how quick it happened, and I'm like, oh no. So yeah. Oh my gosh. Oh, Frosty, that's awesome. But anyway, let's see. And also, I thought while we're painting, I would. I'm gonna get there. It is palette cam Frosty. There it is. Um, I thought I would go ahead and talk resolutions, so we can either talk about them seriously, laugh at them. I also pulled up a website of funny New Year's resolutions to share with y'all while it was painting. Now, if you're painting along with me, drop in the chat if you're painting or drawing or doing anything creative while listening or watching. That would be kind of cool to see. I need to see if I can get uh, camcorder. Okay, so I need to move the camcorder so you can see the painting. Okay, I got to do a little. I don't have a producer or anything. I am the producer, and I'm not very good at it. But yeah, I got to get up and move around and move my camera, and so I want you guys to be able to see that. So I'm gonna, let's see if I can't make that bigger instead of smaller. There I am. Hello. I'm gonna move this over. Let's see. Let me get this going. Let's see. Yeah, I got my palette can. Oh, well, I can't see it now because of the way I've got my screens. It's a little, there you go. You can see it better that way, can't you? All right. All right. Well, thank you. Thank you, JJ, for doing that. That's awesome. I appreciate it. You are awesome. And I appreciate the Frosties and Art of Zen. Everybody, thank you for joining me on this New Year's Eve. Thank you. It's nice to have the company. I'm going to take me out of the picture here, and I'm going to make this a little smaller so you can see a little bit more. I think I'll start really on the parachute pack on her front. And we'll go there. And then we will put, let's see here. There we go. We got the palette cam. Palette cam. Okay. All right. I think I've got it now. So now you can see me painting here. Aha, there we go. All right. I'm getting there, guys. I'm getting there. Like I said, my son joined me last week, and he had given me a computer screen, a computer monitor that he wasn't using when I was up there in July, and I brought it home with me, intending to use it as two separate screens so that I could have one screen showing one thing, the other screen with the other. And I didn't know how to configure that when I got it home. So it was both screens had the same thing. One screen was just bigger than the other. And he's like, "Did you want that extended?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And he fixed it for me. God bless his heart. He got me all set up. I just wish I had known that sooner. Okay, I've got Art Tip Tuesday yesterday is use cellophane to cover your palette when you want to preserve um, little things of paint and you don't want to waste it. So there you go. That's my tip of Tuesday, a day late and a dollar short, um, because I am one of those people that does not like to waste. Um, let's see here. We eat black-eyed peas frequently, though, and it's not related to New Year's. My mom, growing up, my mom wanted to did black-eyed peas every New Year's Eve because we were going to have this good, prosperous New Year, and every year we had to keep doing it as if it was going to work when it hadn't all the years before. So that's fun. I'm going to add some trans yellow oxide in Blue Ridge oil colors. That's my preferred oil colors. Blue Ridge Oil Colors is out of Asheville, North Carolina. And if you're interested in getting some of these paints, you can go to blueridgeoilpaint.com. So that's a shout out. I'm not an associate, affiliate, or anything like that. They don't pay me to talk them up or anything. I just like their paints, and I think they're worth it. They're, a little pricier than the generic stuff you get in the stores. But yeah, let's see, and burnt umber. So trans red oxide, trans yellow oxide, and then burnt umber. And I do need, I think, to get some yellow ochre. And I've been using up my yellow ochre in my Winston and Newton oil colors. It's a drier yellow ochre. It's doesn't have as much oil, so it dries faster. So there we go. You've never had black-eyed peas, Art of Zen? Oh my goodness. They're good depending upon how you prepare them and what you eat them with. Eating them by themselves, they're pretty bland. Um, but I make them in a recipe. What's that? There's a weightlifting chef. I don't know what his name is, but he's known in the cooking TV show circles. He's big. I think he's British too, and he's, Caucasian, and he goes around helping restaurants in their business. And he did a show one time, and I can't even remember where I saw it, but he did recipes where they, you know, he did sweet Italian sausage. But first, you had to chop up onion and saute it first. Then you add the sweet Italian sausage, and you get that cooked up. And you get cooked white rice prepared on the side. And then you add black eyed peas to the onion sausage mixture. And then you add the cooked white rice, and you mix it all together in the pan, and then you squeeze fresh orange over it, and obviously salt and pepper taste. And and we usually eat that for a breakfast meal. No, not Ramsay. I think it's Robert Irvine. Yes, Robert Irvine. That's him. It's his recipe. I forget what he calls it, but it is absolutely delicious. So if you're going to do black eyed peas, look him up. And it's a black eyed peas sweet Italian sausage recipe. It's essentially one like a medium sized onion chopped, and you get that sauteed in a hot pan with some oil of choice. I use beef tallow or avocado oil. And then sweet Italian sausage, 1 pound, cook it up with the sauteed onions. When it's cooked through, then you add a can of black eyed peas. Cook that so it's all uniform and warm. Add cooked white rice. Um, I would I usually do a measuring cup full and cook that up of the white rice. And then I add freshly squeezed orange juice. And so that is what I do. And it is delicious, absolutely delicious. So I would suggest that if you want to try black eyed peas. It's funny, when I was in New Hampshire in July of last year, I was going to try to make this same dish I'm describing. I could not, for the life of me, find black eyed peas in cans anywhere. I could find it dry where you have to, prepare them where they're soaked for like an hour, overnight or something. And I didn't I didn't want to do that. I just wanted the canned black eyed peas. I could not find them. So they're not a thing up in New England, at least not in southeastern New Hampshire. So that may be why you guys don't have it. Yeah, we do call it, yeah, Crazy Bear's right. I forgot to tell you. We call it gravel and grit. And just, it doesn't sound appetizing when you think about that, but it's actually very good. It's one of the things I enjoy making. I enjoy eating. We eat pretty well. It actually does me fine for the rest of the day, actually. It's a nice filling um, dish. And we usually use it for breakfast or brunch. All right, I've been talking a lot, but I've also been mixing up paint. So let's see about getting this done. This came out, I worked on this some over last week, but it's coming out a weird kind of green in the picture. So I'm going to see about, yeah, I need it darker. Let's do darker. Because I don't like the green so much. It seems more like a beige to me on this parachute pack. Let's see, how does that work? So did anyone drop in that they're working on a painting or a drawing tonight? I'm kind of missing it. But I'm working on trying to figure out what I'm going to paint next. I've got a couple ideas, but I'm not thrilled about them. So it really is not working out the way I want it. Come on now. I guess I'm not paying enough attention. Definitely pay attention. Maybe a little blue. Sometimes you got to mix a little blue to get a little bit more of a green tint. Let's see if that works. That's better. That is better. You guys see that? Yeah, okay. But yeah, so I got ideas. I've been working on the Admirable Masculinity series and the lesser known historical figures or lesser known heroes, such as Nancy Wake. And the next logical step is to do the next one in a series, but I just haven't been able to get enthusiastic about it. So Ron suggested I just do the next, sort of like my dancers painting doesn't really fit either one of those series. And he's like, why don't you just do another painting that really, you know, excites you or, that you want to do, and come back to the series when you've got a grander idea. And that makes sense. So that's kind of what I'm thinking will happen, is that I will figure out something I really just want to paint and see if that will work for me. Big glass of Crown and Coke. For real or on a canvas? Some people actually draw that kind of thing. So, yeah. Crazy Bear is working on a new drawing. He just started it. I don't know if it was today or yesterday, uh, but he just started it. Kind of excited. I like I like it when Ron starts a new thing, and he's got a whole bunch of great ideas. So I got glare. If you followed me in the last several um, several live streams, I tend to stand when I'm painting because the lighting in my art studio, and I use the word studio lightly, tongue in cheek, because it's really our library, and I kind of occupy the middle and a corner, and Crazy Bear can keep quiet about the rest. Yes, yes, Frosty, you're right. You did hear me correct. I did say that I'm going to consider changing the composition, but I'm working on a part of the composition that is not likely to change. I guess I could just tell you all about it and let you guys. I don't have the reference photo loaded up on my OBS studio, but let me show you the reference photo I'm working on. Oop, let me see. There we go. Kind of backwards. Let's go here. So this is my reference photo I'm working on. And you can see that I still got the wanted poster and the map behind her head to do, which I could conceivably do those and her pack tonight and still have the ability to switch up the composition. What I'm considering doing, and you can cue the organ music again, Ron, Crazy Bear. I'm trying to, oh my gosh, I can't do this right. But instead of her arm like there, I'm going to have her bringing that cigarette up to her mouth and her looking at the viewer like, I dare you. I'm standing under the posters of the wanted posters of me. I dare you to come get me. It's just I feel like it's going to be a more dynamic composition if she's actively getting ready to take is it swig of the cigarette? I don't smoke, but a swig is more like a drink, right? But she's going to take a puff on that cigarette, and I'm going to catch it mid as it's just about to touch her lips. So her arm needs to move in and her head tilt back a little bit. So I actually will probably have to move her head a little bit, which, I can do. It's just scary. That's kind of what I'm thinking of doing. I think it would actually really capture the essence of her I double dog dare you to catch me attitude. I mean, this one, this does it, but I think having that cigarette touching her lips and her kind of looking askance at the observer like, yeah, I'm wanted and they can't catch me. It really, I don't know. What do you guys think? It's scary because I would have to move her whole arm up to her mouth and her, you know, where she's kind of tilting her head back to take a draft of that cigarette. And it's just as she's about to put it in her mouth and the cigarette kind of glows or whatever, I think it would really pick up on the tone of the painting, if you know what I mean. So that's kind of what I'm debating because, this painting is okay as it is, but could it be better? I think so. And now I'm wondering, now that I've got that in my head, I really want to do it, but I've never, ever stopped mid painting and changed it because I've got paint on. This is all heavy, heavy paint. So what do you guys think? Yeah, I know Crazy Bear. I showed it to him. And like I said, I don't have it queued up on my OBS to share. Um, but it's definitely a better a better composition and definitely really speaks to her attitude and the kind of person she was and the fact that she got away with what she did as a spy during World War II. And it's like, oh man. But everything else in here, this really wouldn't change. Her arm really wouldn't change here. These would still be in place. It's just a tilt of her head up, the tilt of the hand with the cigarette, and of course the hand would be totally different. It would be holding the cigarette differently as she goes to take a drag off the cigarette. Yes, yes, it is more work, but do I want a mediocre painting or do I want, you know, a better painting? I think it would be a better, and it's very risky. It really is very risky in my book. And I'm still debating it. I'm scared to death to do it. But so I'm like, do I do it? Do I do it? Oh my gosh. And this whole front of her, as her arm would come in meeting her lips, the shadow of her arm would come across this part of her shoulder and even across her neck. So it would change the shadows here. This would be almost all in shadow. Um, and I would have to make up something behind her hand in the glass pane of this window. And so, and I guess I could do that. I've never done it before, but I guess I could try. So, so, you know, I'm not, I tend to shy away from doing things that make me uncomfortable, but then I push through and do them anyway. So I feel like I'm going to do it. Oh, thank you, JJ. Frosty's like, I'm down, let's do it. I don't know. I think it's pretty cool the way it is, but it's your decision. Thanks for the feedback. Like I said, I haven't decided, and I figure what I can do to give myself time is to work on this because this won't change. This is going to stay put. And then the map's going to stay put. The shadow might change a little bit, and her head, so her hand and her head, and this part of her would change. Everything else around I can still work on. So, and still give myself some time. So that's my that's kind of my plan right now. So, I'm trying to get less green and definitely more beige brown in this parachute pack. That's what I'm planning. So, trying to make it so you can see as well. Trying to get this defined with darks and lights. I got a lot of mid-tone on this, but I don't have the lights and the darks really well defined. So that's what I'm trying to do here. And you can see it's kind of coming together right there. I am on Gab. I haven't logged in there a lot lately, JJ. Because I don't I got turned off by some of the content on Gab. And maybe it was, and I was trying real hard to control what was in my feed. And the other thing was I was really kind of getting into True Social, really. I mean, True Social is my home, my artist home, so to speak. I probably should log on to my Gab and check in. I think what happened is I kind of got turned off by it when they decided to limit how many photos you could post over there without paying. And I can't pay right now. I've got to do whatever I can that's free or very, very low cost right now. Just is the way it is. So yeah, follow me on Gab. If you found me, I am watercolor artiste on Gab. And what I'll do is I'll go log in later, not tonight probably, but I will log in and I'll catch up with everything and everyone over there. I had a I had a decent following, but like I said, there's just some things that was kind of turning me off, and I have to say, True Social really kind of lit me up. I really liked True Social, and then of course connecting with Lady Hamilton and the the group in the Artist Corner. I mean, golly, I mean, why go anywhere else? You know, I was part of groups on Gab. Um, they didn't have the kind of community that True Social Artist Corner does, you know, and it just really spoke to me. Lady Hamilton's doing a wonderful job over in Artist Corner on True Social, and I have no complaints. I really don't. I think she does a great job. I think the moderators do a great job, and I'm just grateful to be a part of it. I really am. You guys are awesome. Well, thank you, JJ. You're awesome. I appreciate it very much. Very, very much. Well, I was on Gab initially. I got on Gab because it was right after the 2020 election, and I decided that Facebook wasn't it for me. I'm on Facebook, but it's mainly to be um, in touch with family and friends from, you know, my past, because they all seem to be there. And my sons like to communicate through Facebook Messenger. And of course, I'm never going to walk away from how they prefer to communicate with me. So that was the way that goes. And I wanted a free speech platform, and Gab was it. But with free speech platforms, you get some of the ugliest people in the universe. I imagine that Blue Sky is full of ugly people too. I'm not on Blue Sky, but I've heard about Blue Sky, and man, oh man, I don't think I'd ever want to be on that. But I guess, depending upon how you control your feed, who you're connected to, what you're willing to look at. I mean, I utilized the block feature way more frequently on Gab than any other platform, and had to because it was rampant. And I hate to say that because it's mainly the conservative side of the spectrum, and I don't like to say that that happens on our side of the political aisle, but it does, and there are certain things I don't agree with personally. And I don't know. I don't really want to get into that. That's not the scope of my live stream. But yeah, I am on Gab. Hook up there. I'll check in and make sure I connect with all y'all that are on it. But True Social is my cup o' tea. My cup o' tea. I am on X as well. You guys probably know that, but it's more of a political place for me, where I every now and then will kind of say my piece, and then I'll share some art. But I don't really share my X as a artist outlet. I do um, more art, True Social. It's my gig, my gig. Love you guys. Artist Corner is awesome. Awesome, my people. So yeah, I think I gotta think about how I want to, if I want to do the change in in composition on this or not. And part of me is like, I should, because if I want to do something I'm really proud of, and I'm proud of this to some extent, but I think I could do a better composition with what I was thinking. And it's like, oh man, do I do it or do I settle? I feel like I'm settling if I don't do it. Is that awful or what? JJ, I appreciate that so much. Thank you. And I was saying at the beginning of the live stream, I had 77 subscribers on Rumble prior to Christmas, and I lost one because the other day I checked and I was down to 76. I'm like, what happened? I don't know what happened. And they say you have to get to 100 followers before you can be part of their content creator program that maybe helps lift you up for monetizing, I guess. I don't know. But I'm close. You know what I mean? And so if you can share and ask people to subscribe and it's my goal to get to 100 subscribers on Rumble by July 1st, 2026. That's one of my goals. I'm at 35 subscribers on YouTube, um, but Rumble's where it's at for me. So I'm okay with that. I'm still going to keep trying on YouTube, but I'm not going to dare put a goal for that right now. I'm going to go where I've I got friends willing to join me like tonight. You guys are awesome. And palette cam's still working good. Yay, everything's working. I am so grateful. I'm glad that my mic's working. This is awesome. Uh, yeah, but you could see that I worked on her face some over the holiday. Let me see if I can't bring that into view better. Oh, this way. I'm gonna show that because I did work on her a lot on the face and the hair. I'm gonna try to bring it up a little bit. Does that work? Let's see if I can bring it in closer. Let's see. And maybe I can zoom in. Let's see, zoom. You can see she's a little smoother. I even worked on her hair. They don't have the camera in the right spot, but it is what it is. But yeah, I could just tilt her head and bring that arm in. The arm is what's going to move most, but whatever movement I do on her head, everything's got to adjust. So I'm not sure if I'm going to do it. I lean towards doing it, but if I do, I am out another couple of weeks on this for sure. I will switch up my live stream to something different, um, but for next week. But yeah. That's possible, honey. That is possible if you're on the chat in Rumble. He says maybe you lost the one follower because you shouted, "You're welcome," from across the house after your husband yelled, "Thank you for putting up with me." And that's how our lives go. Yeah, yeah, Artisan, if you look at my channel, I've had it for a while, but the long form videos don't really do well. The shorts tend to. I get a couple hundred views depending upon when you post, I guess. Um, I've done it at different times of the day or evening, and I get different results. So it's hard to know. Hard to know. Yeah, yeah. Crazy bear for you. I love you. And yes, you're welcome that I put up with you, you silly man. But anyhow, let's see. I need to maybe try getting the wanted on up here. So let's change the view so you can see that. Nothing like trying to do some lettering. Don't often do that. Let's see here. We'll move it up. The problem is my camera oops, is behind my computers. And that camera, that camera is behind my laptop and it's on my laptop. So when I go behind my laptop, I can't see how it's sitting. Let's see if I can pack it out real quick. I got a nice little remote for my camcorder. Comes in handy. I got very limited space. I'm literally in the middle of my library. Maybe I should show you guys with the palette cam. Hold on. I'm going to get off my camcorder for a second. I'm going to bring this down to normal. Shorts are very easy to do. That's for sure. They're easier, but I don't like catering to the short attention span, but that's what it is. That's the reality, right? So, okay, so you see my palette, my brushes, my little to-do list. Let's show you. Okay, it's not. Okay. Oh, come on. I don't. I'm trying not to get it to do that. How do I get it to stop doing that? Let's see. Stop turning. Let's see. It does that automatic turn whichever way. Let's see. I don't know where. Maybe it's in display to stop turning it. All right, there it is. Let me see if that works. Okay. All right. There we go. Although, oh, I know what it is. Let's see if I do it this way. Okay. All right. Back it up. So here you can see I can work on this because that's not going to change. I can work on the map because that the only thing that might change is a little bit of the shadow area. Her face and her hand are the main things, and then of course this would fall into shadow here. And I got the red on her band is still very wet, and I can't get a nice white because it keeps blending, so I got to wait for that to dry. But that's, and this is a 24-inch by 30-inch canvas. So let me see about switching the 1920 to 1280. 1920 to 1280. I do all this stuff while I'm talking to you in the midst of it all. It still doesn't work right. Well, boo. All right then. I don't like that. We'll go back to what it was. I'm not technically inclined, as you can tell. I'm learning. I'm getting better, but certainly certainly not very good at this. But anyway, I'm going to show you my workspace here. Woo. So there's my cart, my canvas and easel, and then you see my desk, and there's my setup with my webcam. You guys see that? This is behind the scenes, people. My glass of water. Now, my big old light. And then I've got totes underneath of supplies under my desk. And so the easel keeps hitting up against those. You can see the space is limited. Now, if I just turn straight around, you see my cart here. There's my chair. I pushed it out of the way. There's my inspiration wall. You saw some of these artworks in my year in review 2025. Okay, and I still have some more storage. I got a tray table. I got blank canvases. And then behind my desk where my setup is, you can see it now, I've got more storage. My acrylics, my all my stuff down there, inks. So you can see, and then you can see along the walls our library. So this is the room I'm in. You can see our DVD library and some more books. So we even have our Mayflower passengers, historical stuff. We like to have that. I guess I'm giving you a view of my my art studio, and again, studio is used very, very loosely because I'm in a library, and but that's who started on the Mayflower Passage. And after the first Thanksgiving, all those grayed out individuals didn't make it. That we kind of keep that in our mind's eye. America's Prayer of Repentance. We have that up on our wall. Um, but yeah, so you see my little workspace, and so I'm bumping into things. But yeah, that's it right there. And she's looking good. Like I said, I guess I could finish it like this and be content with it. But will I be upset that I didn't go the more risky way? So I don't know. Kind of scary. Kind of scary. But now that you see my little workspace, it really started off as a library. It still is a library. And I'm kind of positioned smack dab in the middle and very tight spaces. Yeah. What happened on the painting set? You went sideways. Okay, let me go ahead and readjust here. And quarter. Okay. Oh, what happened? What happened? Did I? Huh. Okay. Let's see here. Do that. Yeah, I there we go. A little bit back to where I was. But yeah, so I can definitely work on other things and still decide if I'm gonna take that jump, that risky jump, or if I'm going to not. That's the big question. Maybe I should do a, well, I'm not gonna do a poll. Okay. Let's see. Wanted. The word wanted. Let's see. I'm going to work on putting this up there. Oops. You guys should be able to see it if I kept it here. The WANTED. So the middle needs to be between the N and the T of wanted. And that's where I'm going to go. Let's see. Middle. I'm going to get this placed. Are you guys seeing that? Barely. Okay. Barely, barely. Barely, barely. Let's see here. So yeah, that's the tour of my little workspace. This is where I work. And sometimes what I'll do is I will work where I usually place my easel up near my inspiration wall. And then I will open up the library door and I will watch TV in the living room from the library while working on the canvas. So when I really want to see something, but I want to really work on a canvas, I will do it that way. So let's see here. I get this T. And of course, it starts to disappear. I'll have to get a smaller brush and do better definition. I think sometimes the palette cam is a better mobile option to show you guys stuff. What do you think? So, what happened? There it is. Okay. So yeah, I got it. I got it placed, but I'll have to take a smaller brush, and then I have to do the black and white of her, and then I need to get the French for 5 million franc on there as well. So I gotta plan that out a little better. And then the map has to have map lines and X marks, and then some French as well here. So I gotta get that French. I want to make sure I got that spelled right and everything. I got some of the darks in. It's hard to see because of the glare, but see how this is the glare I'm talking about when I'm sitting here or standing here. That's the actual glare I see when I'm working on my live stream. So I actually have to kind of lean this way. But yeah. Doing a lot of talking. I'm probably rambling on and on, right? But that's okay. It is what it is what it is. Let's see here. There we go. I tell you, go. So let me share some of the corny or honey New Year's resolutions that I thought was kind of funny. This is going to be right up a crazy bear's alley. All right. So, and while I'm reading some of these, if you've got a New Year's resolution that you're making, or that you made in the past and broke, or you made in the past and kept, or you just never done, share that with us while I read some of these. So, here's some New Year's resolutions. To lose weight, I put on in 2025. But in my defense, I had a lot on my plate last year. Ding, I need a one of those pun drums at the end of these. To buy a cheap hairpiece for my bald spot. It will be a small price to to pay. To visit the Grand Canyon. I've heard it's just gorgeous. To get a new set of golf clubs for my wife, which will be a fair trade. Oh, thankfully, Ron does not play golf, and he would never say that. Plus, he doesn't have a suicide wish. There it is. Ba-dum bump. That's right. To relearn how to throw a boomerang. Hopefully, it will come back to me. Let's see. To clean all the mirrors in the house. Honestly, I could really see myself doing that. Let's see here. To learn how to pick locks. It should open doors for me in 2026. Oh my gosh. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. I love puns. And the husband unit loves puns. If and when you guys get a chance to check out his game and his books and stuff, his stuff is actually loaded with it like Easter eggs. It's kind of fun to be like on a treasure hunt for those Easter eggs when it comes to his game. So keep that in mind when it comes time. This is a little too bright, so we're gonna tone it down a little bit. And then this is too much hard edge. There we go. Let's see. I won the Junior Sailor of the Month a couple of times in my 3 years serving on the ship. Third class. Oh, crazy bear. All right, time for a couple more of these resolutions. Uh, I, I want to start a condescending Facebook group. I hope some of you will patronize it. uh, that's just not. That's like a dad joke. To sell my vacuum cleaner, it's just collecting dust. Let's see, what else do I got? To order a chicken and an egg online to see which one comes first. Ding ching. Yeah, I don't do New Year's resolutions anymore personally. I do, however, set goals for myself with my artwork. One of the goals that I plan to have for 2026 for my artwork is to participate in at least one art-centric art festival. but I have a lot more work to do for that if I'm going to do it, which means I got to keep painting. I got to get a body of work that will fill the tent walls, and it has to be all essentially the same kind of medium. So I have to do that. Um, and then the other thing is I'd like to try to increase sales on my website. I'm working on that. Um, now that I think about it, I'm like, what other goals do I have? Well, I know that the art-centric art festivals are pretty time heavy, time and labor heavy, and expense heavy. So I need to make sure that that I do as much as I can to work towards that goal. Really, really want to. I really want to try to have an art festival experience in 2026. A little scared of it, but at the same time, could really be the boost that I need as an artist. So we will see what we will see. I'm going to share, there's a online art submission that I think has a January 15th deadline that you guys, my fellow artists, might want to try to participate. It's an online thing that I think has a, physical in-person um, aspect as well if you're chosen, if you're in it. So you might want to consider that. And I'll share that in True Social as well. Yeah, I worked on her hand over the weekend and over Christmas, and it really turned out great. I think that's part of my problem is I really think I did pretty good on this hand, and then to move it just seems like all kinds of wrong. But at the same time, if I'm successful in doing that change in composition, I think it would look better, a little bit more dynamic. Dang, I gotta figure it out. I've got to figure it out. It's gonna bother me. Gonna bother me. I got I got glare here where I'm working and I can't see very well. So where are we at? We're almost 9:15, but let me read a couple of these resolutions. Let's see here. To dress up as a clown and entertain the neighborhood children for their birthdays. They will appreciate the gesture. Jester. To replace all my shoelaces with Velcro straps. Well, why not? KNOT. And also, I need to immediately stop eating deli meats because it will be hard to quit cold turkey. I love puns. I love I love puns. I love that kind of deadpan humor. It's not for everyone. Some people don't like that, but I love it. Like the airplane movies, I just laugh and laugh. And I don't think that's Ron's cup of tea, but I love that. Just makes me laugh like crazy. I like anything that makes me belly laugh. I love puns. I like dad jokes. Who doesn't like dad jokes? I mean, come on. Who doesn't like dad jokes? Right. All right. I think what I'm going to do. Okay, Frosty, I agree. That hand does look too good to move, doesn't it? That might be the one thing that stops me. from doing the change. So what it'll do is it'll make me go back to full screen cam here. I've been standing to try to avoid the glare that I have. But let's see here. I'm gonna angle the camera down a little bit so you can see it more in whole and less background. Maybe zoom in. Let's see here. See if I can get this. Yeah, because this hand, I really worked on that and it really came out good. And now I'm like thinking about moving it. Let's see here. And you still get a glare down here. Sorry. Not good with lighting. I'm not good with cameras. But, but yeah. So I got that going. And I need to get the rest of it. Get that map done. Get this finished. Get this side of her arm done with the band. And at that point, I have to decide if I'm going to call it done the way it is, or if I'm going to move that hand so it's coming up to her mouth and the cigarette's going to glow with a little puff of smoke. And she's looking at the viewer like, yeah, I double dog dare you to catch me. You know? So, but yeah, that's how she's looking. So I appreciate y'all joining me tonight on New Year's Eve. You're my people, really, really are. I'm going to sit down here and let's see here. Do I need to adjust this camera again? No. You saw my little space. But yeah. So thank you. Let's see here. I'm gonna make my chat windows big so I can see y'all better. All right. Yeah, you could always consider this hand as good practice. You could always do a second painting later with your idea. That's true too. That's true. I could do a second painting. And I thought about that briefly and I thought, how often does someone do two paintings very similar? It's almost as if you second guess yourself, which is exactly what I'm doing, right? So, yes, Crazy Bear. In terms of your resolution, you are going to do that. You've got a lot of work into the game, so we're going to make it happen somehow. And I'm going to try to make it happen with my artwork as well. Um, a flip book, a flip canvas book, flip, 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 flip. Yeah, that's not going to work on a canvas this size. But yeah, so I think for next week, I don't know how much work I'm going to get done on this between now and next Wednesday. I'm going to try to work on this some more between Wednesdays and see where I'm at. And but I think I'm going to choose to start a new canvas next Wednesday. I think I can come up with an idea that'll really float my boat, so to speak, that I'll want to attack onto a nice fresh canvas. Maybe I'll even start from scratch, white canvas, and we just put down some acrylic and get started with it and see where it takes me. But we'll see. We'll see. So I'll keep you updated on True Social how I decide to go about this. But I'm not going to share. I'm not going to share the idea on True Social. People have to come to the live stream for this whole backstory. So, but you'll see if I post pictures of this in True Social, you'll know where I'm going with it. If you don't see postings, it's either I've not got it done or I've changed it and I'm still working to refine it. So we'll see what happens. I just really want to be proud of it. And I could be proud of this the way it is. I think I could. I'm just a little afraid that I'll be like, it could have been better, and I should have taken the unsafe route. So, but you know what? With a painting, you can always come back to it and change it if it really bothers you, right? I mean, I could I could change the painting at any time. Maybe that's what I ought to do. Is just go ahead and finish it the way it is and see how I feel after. You know, maybe that's what I'll do. Yeah. So, but anyway, we're at see, this is paint. Paint on my wrist. Yep. Yep, yep, yep. Good job, Steph. I'm a mess. Oh, by the way, another tip. I've been meaning, I meant to say this earlier. I've got a sludge jar. So this is my safflower oil and all the paint grit eventually sinks to the bottom, and then you can reuse the safflower oil because the clean safflower oil is up top. So that's what I use is safflower oil, and I don't use uh, I don't use turpentine or anything like that with my brushes. It's safflower oil in my jar, and then I clean my brushes after each session to keep my brushes. Brushes can be expensive, so. You guys are great. I love you guys. You're awesome. You really, really are. Yeah, yeah. So, so thank you for joining me. If you've got a resolution for real that you want to work on or a goal for your artwork or anything like that, share that in the comments below with me. Share out my video. I'll do all the algorithmic things that make the video get more visibility is really, I guess, what you ought to do. If you can and you're willing and you're able, I would greatly appreciate it. But I'm also interested in knowing, how you're going to approach 2026. I know that my goal is to paint as many paintings as I can to increase my body of work so that I can fill 3 different tent walls, front and back, with my artwork, and it has to all be the same kind of medium. So it's got to be acrylic and oil, acrylic, oil over acrylic or oil. Those all fall within the same medium category with these art centric festivals. So I'm going to be doing a lot of stuff in acrylic, oil over acrylic or oil. This is all oil. Um, and all that's going to be part of one category. So I need to build up my artwork supply, and it needs to be good. So that way, when I apply to these art festivals, that if I do get in, I've got enough artwork to put up on the tent walls, because most of them say they have to be original artwork on the tent walls and they have to be for sale. So anything that goes to a private collection or anything I choose to keep can't be part of it. So I have to do a buildup of artwork, and I do this part time. So that's a big part of it. The other part of what I'm trying to do for 2026 is to do more with my webpage. I'm trying to optimize. I pay for my webpage hundreds of dollars a year, and I just started a blog for it, and I'd like to get to a point where it's optimized and it's pulling, the SEO settings. I'm trying to work on those. I'm trying to learn all this stuff. I'm trying to implement, and I'm doing it under part-time basis. So I've got some big lofty goals, and we'll see, because I know eventually I want to get to the artist sphere in Greenville, South Carolina. Big 3-day art centric festival, um, and could potentially be a boom as an artist. So we'll see. Anyway, I've got fancy plans and pants to match. And if you know what that's from, put it in the comments. If you got fancy plans and pants to match, and you know where that's from, put that in the comments. That's an Easter egg for you guys. But anyway, so put your resolution in the comments or share it with me on Truth Social or Facebook or wherever you connect with me. I I think that would be great, and I think we all should support each other. Yeah, Crazy Bear, you be quiet. You be quiet. Don't you cheat and tell everybody. Yeah, build up the artwork portfolio. That's what I'm gonna try to do, JJ. Absolutely. That's true. They do stack it against otherwise employed. I'm bivocational, as they would say. You know, I have to work a full time job to pay bills. So yeah, I work every night after work, either on my web page at night, or doing a blog entry, or doing quick video shorts. To Instagram. I started an Instagram within the last 2 months. I've never had an Instagram. And so I've got that going, and I'm just trying to figure it out. So I'm trying to do all the things, and it's just hard to do because I work a full time job during the day, and then I got to keep up with my house. I got to do the cooking, and it's just there's not enough hours in a day, but I'm gonna try. I have to have faith, right? And I have friends and encouragement from everybody online that I hook up with. You guys are great. So with that, and we're up against 9:30. I try to keep us on time, no, not going past 9:30 on a Wednesday night. Yeah, I know I could probably go a little longer on New Year's Eve. I mean, most everyone stays up, um, but I don't do that. I kind of keep to my rules. So thank you for joining me. Happy, happy New Year's to all of you. Share your resolutions or your goals. I want to be a part of the team that encourages you just like you encourage me. And I mean that. And I may not be very good at it given my time constraints, but I do try. So I want you to know I try to get to your Rumble channels. I'm going to try to be more engaging with everybody because I want to encourage and support just like you do for me. That's what friends do. So thank you. Have a wonderful night. Have a great New Year's Eve. Stay safe, and let's see if we can't tackle 2026 and come out better for it in the end. We'll have to see how things go. But have a good night. Like, subscribe, comment, and share, and see you next week.